The Tailor of Gloucester. In time of swords and framings and full scarlet coats and flowered lappets, when gentlemen wore ruffles and gold-laced waistcoats of paduasoy and taffeta. There lived a tailor in Gloucester. He sat in the window of a little shop in Westgate Street, cross-legged on a table from morning till dark. All day long while the light lasted, he sweat and snipped, vising on his stain and pompadour and lutestring stuffs had strange names and were very expensive in the days of the Tailor of Gloucester. But although he sewed fine silk for his neighbors, he himself was very poor, a little old man in spectacles, with a pinched face, old crooked fingers, and a suit of threadbare clothes, but cut his coats without waste, according to his embroidered cloth. They were very small ends and snippets that lay about up on the table, two narrow threads for not, except waistcoats for mice, said the tailor. One bitter cool day near Christmas time, the tailor began to make a coat of terry-colored silk embroidered thread with pansies and roses, and a cream-colored satin waistcoat trimmed with gauze and green worsted chainmail for the mayor of Gloucester. The tailor worked, and he talked to himself. He measured the silk, and turned it round and round, and trimmed it into shape with his shears. The table was all littered with terry-colored snippets, no breadth error, and cut on the crust. It is no breadth the error, tippets for mice and ribbons for mouse. For mice, said the tailor of Gloucester. When the snowflakes came down a darkness, the small lidded window panes and shut out the light. The tailor had done his day's work. All the silk and satin lay cut out upon the table. There were 12 pieces for the coat and 4 pieces for the waistcoat, and there were pocket flaps and cuffs and buttons all in order. For the lining of the coat there was fine yellow taffeta, and for a buttonholes of waistcoat there was terry-colored twist, and everything was ready to see together in the morning, all measured and sufficient, except that there was wanting just one single skein of terry-colored twisted silk. The tailor came out of his shop at dark, for he did not sleep there at nights. He fastened the window and locked the door, and took away the key. No one lived there at night but little brown mice, and they ran in and out without any keys. For behind the wooden wainscots of all the old houses in Gloucester, there are little moss staircases and secret trapdoors, and the mice run from house to house through those long narrow passages. They can run all over the town without going into the streets. But the tailor came out of his shop and shuffled home through the snow. He lived quiet nearby in College Court, next the doorway to College Green, and although it was not a big house, the tailor was so poor he only rented the kitchen. He lived alone with his cat. It was called Simpkin. Now, all day long while the tailor was out at work, Simpkin kept house by himself. It's not girl, it's boy. And he also was fond of the mice, though he gave them no satin for coats. Meow, said the cat when the tailor opened the door. Meow. The tailor replied, Simpkin, we shall make our fortune, but I am worn to our rebelling. Take this groat, which is our last 4 pence, and Simpkin, take a china pipkin, buy a pennorth of bread, a pennorth of milk, and a pennorth of sausages. And oh, Simpkin, with the last penny of our 4 pence, buy me 1 pennorth of terry-colored silk, but do not lose the last penny of the 4 pence, Simpkin, or I am undone and worn to thread paper, for I have no more twist. Then Simpkin again said meow, and took the groat and the pipkin and went out into the dark. The tailor was very tired and beginning to be ill. He sat down by the hearth and talked to himself about that wonderful coat. I shall make my fortune to be copious. The mayor of Gloucester is to be married on Christmas Day in the morning, and he hath ordered a coat and an embroidered waistcoat to be lined with yellow taffeta, and the taffeta suffixed. There is no more left over in snippets than will serve to make tippets for the mice. Then the tailor started, for suddenly interrupting him from the treasure at the other side of the kitchen came a number of little noises. Tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, tip. Now what can that be? Said the tailor of Gloucester, jumping up from his chair. The treasure was covered with crockery and pipkins, willow, pattern plates, and teacups and mugs. The tailor crossed the kitchen and stood quite still beside the dresser, listening and peering through his spectacles. Again from under a teacup came those funny little noises. Tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, tip. This is very peculiar, said the tailor of Gloucester, and he lifted up the teacup which was upside down. Wow, it's a mice. Tick, 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 tick. It's a mouse. Out stepped a little lady mouse and made a curtsy to the tailor. Then she hopped away down off the dresser and under the wainscot. The tailor sat down again by the fire, warming his poor cold hands and mumbling to himself. The waistcoat is cut out from peach-colored stain, tambour, stitchy, and rosebuds in beautiful floss silk. Was I wise to entrust my last fourpence to Simpkin, 1 and 20 button, holes of terry-colored twist? But all at once from the treasure there came other little noises. Tip tap, tip tap, tip tap, tip. This is passing extraordinary, said the tailor of Gloucester, and turned over another teacup, which was upside down. Out stepped a little gentleman mouse and made a bow to the tailor, and then from all over the treasure came a chorus of little tappings, all sounding together and answering one another like watch beetles in an old one. Iron window shutter, tip tap tip tap tip tap tip, tip tap tip tap tip tap tip, and out from under the teacup, and from under bowls and basins, stepped other and more little mice, who hopped away down of the dresser and under the wainscot. The tailor sat down close over the fire, lamenting 21 buttonholes of terry color silk. To be finished by noon of Saturday, and this is Tuesday evening, was it right to let loose those mice undoubtedly the property of Simpkin? Alack, I am undone, for I have no more twist. The little mice came out again and listened to the tailor. They took notice of the pattern of that wonderful coat. They whispered to one another about the taffeta lining and about little mouse tippets. And then all at once they ran away together down the passage behind the wainscot.